All roads have led us here. Monster Jam has returned to the racing capital of the world for another exciting installment of what has been an epic 2021 season.
Go, go, go!
New faces look to shine for the first time among arguably the greatest lineup the sport has ever seen.
Great run, man, great run.
While the five-time world champion returns to the seat of the legendary ride that made him a star. This is round 26. This is Indianapolis. This is Monster Jam. Nice air. And he saves it. There is your wow factor.
Big air out of the box. Awesome move, look at that.
Welcome to the home of the Indianapolis Colts, Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis, Indiana. And it's been a long and winding road, but we're finally here for round 26 of the 2021 Monster Jam season. Hello everyone, I'm Scott Jordan alongside my broadcast partner, Colt Stevens. And Colt, this city has hosted nearly every motorsport there is. How fitting is it that in Monster Jam's incredible 2021 season, we return to a city so rich in motorsports history?
Anyone that follows motorsports knows about Indianapolis, and it's epic that we get to bring Monster Jam here this year.
Let's take a look at the driver lineup for tonight's event. Great mix here, Colt, of veteran drivers, young stars, and World Finals champions.
Definitely, Scott. I'm excited to see what these drivers have in store.
Tristan England making his 2021 stadium debut tonight in Megalodon, but Adam Anderson has been in Megalodon all year, had a phenomenal year. Now he's back in Gravedigger, so Tristan England with some big shoes to fill following a five-time World Finals champion.
Scott, there is no doubt Tristan has some big shoes to fill going into that Megalodon. Adams had a winning season in that truck, so Tristan's going to have his hands full.
It's time to head down to the track and hear from the Megalodon driver, and for that, we toss it down to KCG, who's filling in for Leslie Mears in this UNOH Pit Report.
Tristan, it's a big weekend here for you, your first non-Monster Jam World Finals Stadium event. Do you feel any nerves getting into tonight, especially going up against the veteran drivers?
I mean, when I woke up this morning, I definitely had a little nerve, but getting to the track, smelling the dirt, seeing everybody that I work with, and, you know, talking to my crew guy, everything just went away, and I didn't have any nerves. You know, a couple things we had to set up on the truck, but Doug's got it 110%, and like you said, it was the first time, so I'm just pumped. I'm excited.
Let's take a look at the Monster Jam Steel Titans 2 video game event breakdown. Our drivers will compete in 3 competitions: Monster Energy Racing, the Great Clip Skills Challenge, and Bkt Monster Jam Freestyle. 12 points will be awarded to the winner of each competition with a total of 36 on the line, and the driver with the most points at the end of the event will be crowned the overall event champion. Now it's time for Track Talk presented by Great Clips, and Cole, for the first time since Houston, we get a St. Louis style track. So talk about the advantages and disadvantages that our drivers are going to face when it comes to this track.
Scott, this is my favorite track here. It's a driver's track. We got 2 different lanes, turn in 2 different directions. The drivers are going to have to make 2 decisions. One, do they like turning to the right more or to the left? And what lane is the fast ticket? Get that fast time and get lane choice.
Here's tonight's Monster Energy Racing bracket. In round 1, Kohler versus Kohler, Avenger versus Axe, then Zombie against Overboard, Max D going at it with Megalodon, and Black Pearl up against Monster Mutt Dalmatian Galaxy. The first round buys go to Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Monster Energy Gravedigger, and Bakugan Dragonoid. I know the premier matchup that I think is out there in round 1. I'm sure you agree, but who do you like in round 1?
I really like this first matchup. Father versus son, old buck versus young buck. Who's going to come out on top?
What a way to kick off round 1 of racing. For the first time ever in a Monster Jam event, it's Kohler versus Kohler. Let's head down to the track.
Chris trying to ice his dad out, taking a little bit of time, getting ready for that start. Jim's off to a great start, though.
Jim gets to the chalk first. Let's see how Chris does in the turn.
Chris swings in way too hard.
These turns are tough, and Chris Kohler falls victim to the turn. Jim Kohler's got it down. He is not laying out for his kid, and Jim Kohler's going to win his round 1 matchup.
Jim showing his son how it's done.
Up next in round 1, it is Fortville, Indiana's Jamie Garner in Overboard. He is going to go up against Bari Musauer in Zombie. Bari with the edge to the chalk. Here we go to the first turn.
Bari has a great corner.
He goes a little narrow, clips that pod. We'll see if it costs him.
Coming in now.
He goes tight again. He clips the pod again. Not going to cost him. He did check up. It almost cost him, but Bari Musauer gets the win.
Man, that's a big deal. Knocking Jamie out in his hometown first round. Nice work, Bari.
So an epic battle between teacher versus student. Right lane, Tristan England and Megalodon. Left lane, Tom Meents and Max D.
Tristan has a lot to prove in these stadiums. He's only done a few events so far, and I know if he could get a win against Tom, that would be a big deal to Tristan. Tristan off the line hard.
Great jump for Tristan England. Let's see if he holds it here.
Nice corner by
And
Tristan.
Tristan with a great corner. You're absolutely right. Final turn. Can the kid hang on?
Oh, he's got it. He's got it, Scott. He's knocking off his teacher.
Unbelievable upset. Tom loves his style track. Tristan England beating the professor of MJU, and Megalodon advances.
Wow, what an epic job by Tristan.
Our final matchup in round one, the right lane, Cole Vennard in the Black Pearl. Left lane, Lindsey Reid, Monster Mutt Dalmatian Galaxy. So the lane choice in round one, is that just luck of the draw, or does the higher number get to pick the lane?
Well, you do get lane choice depending on where you finished in the previous round. So if you had a faster time, you get to choose your lane.
Here we go off the line. Cole Vennard, a big jump.
Cole has a great corner.
Slows it down just the right moment, whips it around, got the lane.
Cole is just absolutely driving away with that race.
And Cole Vennard, Black Pearl, advancing to round two. Let's take a look now at our round two bracket for Monster Energy Racing. It'll be Bryce Kenny and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior against Jim Kohler in Avenger. Then Leduc Monster Energy against Bari Musauer in Zombie. Adam Anderson and Gravedigger against Tristan Anderson and Megalodon. And Ryan Anderson and Bakugan Dragonoid against Cole Vennard in the Black Pearl. Things are going to continue to heat up as round two of Monster Energy Racing in Indy begins next. Welcome back to Indianapolis as we get set for round two of Monster Energy Racing. Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior up against Jim Kohler in Avenger. Great jump for Bryce Kenny, hits the race ramp and across the chalk. Whip turn for both. Bryce is on a rail, straight line for him.
Bryce is making some great corners, taking advantage here. Great corner there again. Go across the finish line first.
Bryce Kenny getting it done, advances in semifinals. Next up, Todd the Duke and Monster Energy enters the bracket. He picks the right lane. Bari Musauer and Zombie goes to the left. Todd has a big exhibition matchup today at halftime against Jeremy Mcgrath. You think Todd is maybe looking towards that, trying to keep the truck in one piece?
I guarantee Todd isn't even thinking about that race right now. Right now, he has to get by Bari Musauer, who has been very fast and very consistent all year long. Todd with a big jump off the line.
Bari catches up off the race ramp, first turn.
Great corner by Todd. He's absolutely nailing those turning points. Let's see him come through this last corner.
Final turn here. Bari Musauer picking it up, but he spins out, and Todd the Duke takes the win.
What's Todd's time? So Tristan was running a bad fast time first round. Let's see what Todd had here.
And speaking of Tristan England, here he comes to the line in Megalodon in the right lane. Adam Anderson and Gravedigger in the left. So Adam Anderson runs in Megalodon for the season. He now switches back to Gravedigger, leaving the Megalodon truck in the hands of the very capable Tristan England.
What's crazy to me, Scott, Adam had lane choice, and he chose to go to the left lane when all the racing wins seemed to be coming out of that right.
Dead even off the ramp to the line. Adam goes wide and Tristan spins out.
He couldn't handle the pressure.
A tough break. Adam and Tristan were dead even.
Adam's just driving to Walmart now. Easy win.
Adam Anderson moving on.
Adam out there putting on a clinic. Glad to be back in Digger.
Our final round one matchup, Cole Vennard in the Black Pearl. He will face Ryan Anderson and Bakugan Dragonoid entering the bracket for the first time. Ryan Anderson with the jump at the start.
Ryan is just absolutely nailing his points right there.
Doesn't lose a lot of momentum. They both go wide on the straightaway, bringing it back narrow.
Cole's got some ground to catch.
Oh, he's got to finish. Cole Vennard looked like he was dead in the water. We're going to have to take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay on this finish.
That was a close one, Scott, but oh, wow.
Cole Vennard looks like he may have had it.
I don't know if I could call that one.
But it is Bakugan Dragonoid. All that hype we made, and at the end of the day, Ryan Anderson hangs on. Let's take a look at our semifinal bracket. Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior will go up against Todd the Duke and Monster Energy. And then Adam Anderson and Gravedigger will meet his brother Ryan Anderson in Bakugan Dragonoid. So as the trucks pull out of their stalls, Leduc very smartly moving to the right side, which we've talked about. That lane has been the faster lane. The left lane looks a little more beat up. Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, he is in that left lane.
Todd definitely likes this style of racing more than the Chicago style, so very, very interested to see him go round for round.
Bryce Kenny, slight advantage coming off the ramp.
Kind of tiptoeing through the corners and worried about those cracks.
Todd made a great corner, got less of the pod than Bryce did. Final turn, Bryce
He's
is going to go over, and Todd Leduc hits the pod. So he's got to back up, but Bryce has got him. Bryce has got him. We got to check the right side tire if it was over the ramp. Let's take a look at the replay. Both of them, all kinds of problems.
Holy cow! He comes into the corner, truck hikes up, just like I was talking about. Those cracks reached up and grabbed him right there, but never quit. He puts that thing right in first gear, grabs second, drives across the finish line before Todd. That is awesome.
Sorry, dog.
All right, final matchup here in the semifinals. How many times have we seen this one this year? Anderson versus Anderson, left lane, Adam Anderson and Gravedigger, right lane, Ryan Anderson and Bakugan Dragonoid. Let's head downstairs with KCG.
Scott, earlier I asked Adam how it felt to be back in his truck, and he said that even though he hasn't been in his truck for almost a year, as soon as he sat down, everything felt perfect, smooth, and like he never left. He said he's the only driver to have ever driven Gravedigger 35 and has never been more ready for the competition.
Oh, Ryan's got him. Come on.
Final turn here, both hit the brakes. Adam again, he's up on the wheel. Look at the turn for Adam Anderson. Look at the turn for Adam Anderson.
He fully committed, picked the inside tire up, and just powered right to the finish line.
Unbelievable. Adam Anderson takes the turn on two wheels, straightens it up, crosses the finish line, and there's your winner. Well, we're about to get right into the final round. It is going to be Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, and Adam Anderson and Gravedigger. We're just getting started in Indianapolis. The Monster Energy Racing Finals and the Great Clip Skills Challenge recap are all coming up next. Welcome back to round 26 of Monster Jam at Lucas Oil Stadium. We're down to the fastest and the final two in the bracket. It's time for the Monster Energy Racing Finals, and right away, we talked about the ruts in the left lane. Adam Anderson with lane choice. He pushes himself over to the right lane. Very smart move.
Definitely.
Bryce Kenny a little late getting out of his stall. Looks like he's still being worked on.
He's getting a jump box. His batteries are dead. That can definitely affect his run. Your rear steer runs off battery, so if those batteries are low, as soon as he hits that rear steer, it could quit on him.
Bryce Kenny is fired, and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior making his way out to the track for our final race of the night.
Good start.
If you're Bryce Kenny, you see that rut coming up, what do?
Hammer down, buddy. No rear steer, I was telling you. He has lost the rear steer. Those batteries being dead, it just killed the rear steer for him. It's an easy cakewalk for Adam.
So Adam Anderson and Gravedigger 35, welcome back, buddy, to your ride, getting it done and taking Monster Energy Racing. Let's take a look at our first Bkt Top 5 of the night. Adam Anderson getting 12 points, Bryce Kenny 11, Ryan Anderson with 10, Todd Leduc with 9, and Colvinard with 8. Rounding out our first Bkt Top 5. Right now, let's head downstairs to the track. KCG is with Adam Anderson.
Adam, some wild action out here on this track. You know, we haven't seen the St. Louis style track at this point in months. So is it easier to navigate the changes in Gravedigger 35?
You know, absolutely. You know, it's kind of beneficial to me because we've been running the same style track almost all season. And now we changed the track, so it throws everybody off a little bit. I'm back in a different truck, but, you know, I feel like it shows on the track, my performance, that this is my baby. I can feel everything in this thing, and I love it.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thank you, Casey. With racing in the books, it was time for our second competition of the night, the Great Clip Skills Challenge. And let's take a quick look back at our top competitors. Each driver had the option to attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels or a donut. Competitors attempted a variety of moves and combinations and were judged based on creativity, skill, and execution. 12 points were on the line towards tonight's overall event championship. So let's take a quick look back at our top 3 competitors. And in third place, Ryan Anderson doing a Ryan Anderson move, bicycle, stoppie, moonwalk combo.
All the stars aligned. He was able to jab the brake, get it up into a stoppie, and then move on to a moonwalk. Awesome job by Ryan Anderson.
Coming in second, it was Tom Mentz in Max D, a nose wheelie moonwalk combo.
Gets on top of the step up here. Very hard to do because it feels like you're going to roll over as you back up over that step up. So great control of the truck.
And winning this thing, a four-way combo move. Stoppy, moonwalk, reserve popper, and wheelie. Tristan England in Megalodon is your Great Clip Skills Challenge winner.
Great truck awareness right there to know that he can back it up and then jump, land on the brakes, and ride a wheelie the other direction. Definitely the best skills we've seen so far.
Let's catch you up on our overall event leaderboard after 2 competitions. Adam Anderson sits at the top with 21, Ryan Anderson with 20, Bryce Kenny 19, Tristan England with 18, and Tom Mentz with 15 points. The night is still young here in Indy. 2 competitions down, 2 winners crowned, and 1 final competition remains. But first, it's the exhibition dream match that has got Monster Jam and Supercross fans buzzing. It's Leduc versus Mcgrath, and it's next. Everyone in Monster Jam is proud to be partners with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Become a partner in hope and receive a custom St. Jude and Monster Jam We Won't Stop t-shirt. Text Monster Jam to 785-833 or visit stjude.org/Monster Jam to learn more. We are back at the home of the Colts, Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm Scott Jordan with Colt Stevens. Cole, back in Orlando at the Hall of Fame ceremony, you mentioned that Dennis Anderson was a guy that you idolized as a kid. You want to be just like him. Well, a guy that I idolized as a teenager was 7-time Supercross champion Jeremy Mcgrath. He got me interested in motorsports. I used to go see him race every chance I had, and he's a big reason why I'm sitting here talking to you right now.
I think anybody that followed motorsports in the 90s knows who the king is.
Worlds are about to collide here in Indy. Leduc and Mcgrath. Let's head down to the track. The Kawasaki KRX Monster Jam truck going up against Todd Leduc's Monster Energy. Now, Jeremy Mcgrath was out here all weekend practicing, getting some reps in here, getting a feel for the seat. But he's going up against a 2-time World Finals champion, so I could go either way on this. You got Todd Leduc, who is an accomplished racer, has beaten everybody in the business. And you have a guy, Jeremy Mcgrath, who not only has won all those Supercross championships, but he's a champion in off-road truck racing as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Jeremy, even though this is the first time here lining up in a Monster Jam truck, he is no slouch. He is a motorsports connoisseur, and Todd better have his A game.
And we are off. Mcgrath with a great start. And Mcgrath has got him coming into the first turn.
Oh, he's over. Oh, man.
Jeremy Mcgrath rolls in the first turn. But what a start for Jeremy Mcgrath. He came right off the line. I think he got too excited and then went too deep in that turn.
Yeah, he just put too much rear steer into that. Now remember, we've had some rounds of racing on this track as well, so he could have been dealing with some very tacky dirt down here in this corner. Unfortunately, Jeremy just couldn't handle the pressure going against Todd Leduc, world champion.
All right, you okay? I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I'm good. Can we have a re-rack?
Let's head downstairs with Casey G and Todd Leduc and Jeremy Mcgrath in this UNOH halftime pit report.
Todd, a huge congratulations, and I got to ask you, were you a little bit worried lining up against the legend, Jeremy Mcgrath, that maybe you met your match?
Now that it's over, yeah, I'll admit it. No, Jeremy's one of the best overall athletes in the world. Unbelievable what he can do, and I have an advantage because I already raced earlier, so I knew what the track was going to do, and he did a great job. To be honest with you, if I was out on the Supercross track, I probably would have ended up just like that, so unbelievable.
And Jeremy, I got to ask you, so many accolades to your name, a lot of experience on both 2 and 4 wheels. So getting behind the wheel of a Monster Jam truck, did it feel like you expected, or was it a little bit different?
Oh, man, it was a great experience. You know, I've driven a lot of off-road, ridden a lot of motorcycle, of course. Had some good success in Indy. This whole Monster Jam event has been amazing. And to get up here to race against one of my buddies, but then to embarrass myself in the turn like that, I was hanging upside down going, man, come on, can we get a re-rack here? So, you know, all in all, great experience. These trucks are not easy to drive. These guys are amazing athletes, amazing drivers. Again, just what a great event. You know, it's pretty much every kid, every man's dream. So it was a great time.
All right, thank you, Casey. No, we don't re-rack here in Monster Jam, and I don't know what she's congratulating Todd for. He didn't cross the finish line, and Mcgrath had him from that start away.
Yeah, it was so cool to actually hear somebody as accomplished as Mcgrath recognize just how difficult it is to drive these Monster Jam trucks. You can't just jump in them and go and think you're going to come out on top, and Jeremy, unfortunately, he figured that out the hard way.
Let's take a current look at our Bkt overall event leaderboard. Adam Anderson up top with 21, Ryan Anderson with 20, Bryce Kenny with 19, Tristan England with 18, and Thomas with Maxine. No surprise that the Andersons are up top. Bryce Kenny always consistent, but Tristan England right in there as well. But let's talk about Bryce Kenny, that elusive event championship he can't seem to get. Can he pull it together?
You know, Bryce has been lucky so far tonight. We saw him roll over in racing and still come back for a win. So it's anybody's ball game. Definitely still could be Bryce's.
Indianapolis is known as the racing capital of the world and home to not only the Indy 500, but also the headquarters of IndyCar. And one of the most famous families in IndyCar racing is, of course, the Rahal family. Now, Colt, I grew up a fan of Bobby Rahal, a former Indy 500 winner. I know you know his son, Graham Rahal. I know you're a fan of IndyCar racing in general, but how do they compare when you talk about racing a Monster Jam truck to an IndyCar?
You know, we've come a long ways when it comes to Monster Jam as far as technical aspect, but we're not even close to IndyCar. They have more buttons on their steering wheel than my home computer.
We wanted to find out from the pros, so during a break from preparing for the St. Pete Grand Prix, Graham Rahal joined up with Gravedigger driver Tyler Menega at Monster Jam headquarters to compare trucks and cars. Take a look.
How you doing, man? What's happening? Tyler, nice to meet you. How are you? Nice to meet you. Yeah, this is where we house all the Monster Jam trucks. Wow. So, how different is every truck? Or the frames mainly the same other than body? And they're pretty much the same when you take the body off, but they might have different body mounts. So like Gravedigger's got, you know, kind of the wagon look on it, so, yeah. Not a pickup, so a pickup won't have the same rear halo as we have on the Gravedigger truck. So. Gotcha. So how much do they weigh? 12,500. And all are in that range? Yep. It's cool. Yeah.
There's some huge hair. Unbelievable.
About this, how much does this weigh? Our cars are about 10% of that. Yeah. So, the IndyCar in general is right about 1,650 pounds. So what's the longest air time you've ever had? Longest air time? I don't know, like 35, 40, 50 feet. It's fun where these things are cool, like the braking capability and the cornering speed. Like some tracks that we go to, the cornering speeds in these cars is what like really is shocking for most guys. It's so important that, you know, you leave the sport in a better place than you found it, or carry it forward. Means you got to put on a good show. Yeah, that's ultimately what it comes down to. It's a big pride thing. I got the biggest name truck that I'm driving for. Big time. I gotta perform.
Coming up, it's one last chance to wow the crowd and get the points. Bkt Freestyle is next. Welcome back to Monster Jam. The action continues tonight in Indianapolis. We're going to find out right now who is ready for prime time. It's time for Bkt Freestyle. Here comes 2019 World Finals Freestyle champion Lindsey Reid in Monster Mutt Dalmatian Galaxy. And she hits the right side pod. And she's batting 1,000 when it comes to the Monster Energy backflip ramp. She has landed every one she has attempted in her career.
I like her style so far. Good air. Man.
Last time she competed in Indianapolis, we saw maybe the best 30 seconds freestyle run we've ever seen out of her. She did land a backflip.
Oh, downshifted to first right there. Landed so hard it actually moved the shifter into first gear. Oh, changing it up. A little cross up there. Ooh. Gotta be careful on those aggressive turns.
I know you know her husband, Jared, and he is a racer as well, and he's doing some crazy stuff this weekend too, right?
Yeah, he's racing sprint cars actually in my home state, Texas Motor Speedway. So racing background for this family for sure. Oh, nice save there, turning into it.
She has gotten so good at saves, coming off on one side, just centering that truck out. Squares it up on the jump, great landing, not a lot of bounce. That's what you want to keep your momentum up. Brings it right back around. I love that move. Comes off a little crossing on it on that one.
Oh, going for a slap wheelie a little bit. really picked her momentum up. I love it.
It's aggressive style. We've seen this change in her, and it has really benefited her. So we got less than 30 seconds on the clock. She's got to make it happen.
Stop pulling, Scott. She has no rear drive. Front tires only.
All right, so what can you do?
And she's limited here, but this is what separates a good driver from a great driver. Being able to drive with a broken truck.
Oh, the bicycle
nice
save off the
there.
jammer. And one final jump, and Lindsey Reid sending Monster Mutt Dalmatian Galaxy. But take us through the Super Glue Glue to the action replay.
There she goes, good air, being patient, not overdriving the truck there, makes a great save.
Right now, we are joined by a special guest. I'm talking about 7-time Supercross champion Jeremy Mcgrath is up here with us. Jeremy, welcome to the broadcast booth, man. You're coming off that exhibition race. I told Cole you had Todd in the straightaway. How you feeling in that monster truck, man?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun out there. You know, it's a great experience. I've been a fan of Monster Jam for a long time, and having a great teacher like Todd, as we're watching right now, was amazing. It wasn't supposed to end like that, turn one crash, but nevertheless, it was a great time for sure.
Well, you know in Supercross how important getting that pole position is off the rack on that straightaway. So you got to have some sort of solace in the fact that you took that from Todd Leduc.
Well, here's the deal. Yesterday I was learning. Today I knew I had to throw everything at it to even have a chance. So I thought, hey man, I got to go for the whole shot. I felt like I got the whole shot. Threw it into turn one. I didn't use the brakes. I used the rear steer, turned it in. I was like, all right, I feel good. I hammered the gas. The thing went right over, and I was like, there's no possible way I can be rolling right now. Ended up on my lid, which is kind of embarrassing, but hey.
And see, I said earlier worlds are colliding. My worlds are colliding as a Supercross guy. I said pole position is whole shot in Supercross. I got to get things back on track here.
I know exactly what you meant.
So talk about, I know Casey asked you about coming in and doing this full time. We've seen guys like Travis Pastrana do it, Damon Bradshaw. Would you ever be open to a career, at least giving it a shot again in a Monster Jam truck?
You know, I've thought about it. Me and my daughters, we're such big fans. We turn it on at home all the time. We see you guys enjoy it a lot. You know, it was a dream to get in that truck, right? It was like every kid, every man's dream. And I experienced that. Today, I'm a little more comfortable than yesterday, obviously.
Todd's checking up for some reason here.
Oh, yeah.
8-pack backflip.
Oh, here we go.
8-pack. Here we go. Todd Leduc sends it up.
Perfect.
Woo!
Perfect.
And I think that's the next move for you.
All right, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'll leave that up to the experts. Todd's got that dialed.
Wow, so how would you score Todd's freestyle run here? Haven't competed against him, being a friend of his. No friend zone here, though. You got to throw it out there. What do you think you got?
Yeah, well, I think, you know, Todd is one of the guys that sends it the biggest, gets the most air. Obviously, the backflip he's the first one to do that tonight. So you got to give him some creativity right there. You see the replay, he nailed it. Jeez, I'm gonna say that's gonna put him in the lead.
First place, nice.
9.398 for Todd Leduc. Jeremy Mcgrath, it's a pleasure having you up here.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.
You got it, man. Thank you.
All right.
Here comes Cole Vennard in the Black Pearl. Todd Leduc is the new leader. Huge air for Cole Vennard. So last time Monster Jam was in Indianapolis in this building, we're talking February 9th of 2020. Who do you think won the overall event championship?
Cole Vennard.
Cole Vennard, man.
Golly.
You and I have been doing this for too long. We got the same wavelength right now.
I think he pulled a walk the plank that night, didn't he?
Walk the plank.
I want to see one here.
He won freestyle and the event championship.
All right, Cole, come on, give me some. There we go.
After we're done here, man, I'm going to find an 85 DeLorean and go back in time and tell my 17-year-old self that don't worry, you're going to get Jeremy Mcgrath in the broadcast booth with you one day.
Pretty epic, man. All right, Cole, come on.
Swinging it back around, comes on the jammer side pod.
There he goes, crossing it up a little bit, changing it up. Go, ooh, aggressive there, I like it. Spin it around.
We have seen the walk the plank twice this year.
Is he going for it here?
Love to see it again. He's got a lot of room.
I think we might see it.
Here we go.
Come on.
Backing it up now, got to find the perfect angle. This is the most
Setting
spectacular move off this back flam ramp if he nails it.
You gotta mess up in order to get it right.
He sends it.
Oh,
no, too
messed up,
much
that's for
on
sure.
the right side.
Oh, not able to get it.
Take a look at the super glue to the action replay.
So that's the thing about the move that he usually does, to walk the plank. It's actually a mistake that he turns into an epic move. Almost had one right there with a sidewall save. He comes into the back flip. He rotates a little bit off right here, side slaps hard. He is gonna feel that one tomorrow, no doubt. That is a hard hit. The shocks don't work on the side like that.
Not everybody was able to get it done tonight at Lucas Oil Stadium in freestyle. Let's take a look at some of our lower performing trucks. Chris Kohler not able to get a score. He rolled early. Jamie Garner, blown motor in front of his hometown crowd. Barry Musauer and Zombie filled the clock. Bryce Kenny, Great Clips, Mohawk Warrior, consistent run. And then Tristan England and Megalodon, his big air, could not get him the score to reflect it. Let's take a look at our current Bkt Freestyle Top 5. Todd Leduc hanging on to the top spot. Cole Bernard in second. Lindsey Reid in third. Tristan England in fourth. And Bryce Kenny in fifth. It's coming down to the wire here tonight. Who's going to take freestyle and who's going home with the overall event championship? Find out when Bkt Freestyle continues next on Monster Jam. Welcome back to Indianapolis. Let's catch you up on our overall event leaderboard after two competitions. Adam Anderson sits at the top with 21, Ryan Anderson with 20, Bryce Kenny 19, Tristan England with 18, and Tom Mentz with 15 points. And now it's 12-time World Finals champion Tom Mentz in Max D.
Tom coming out with a bang.
One freestyle win to his credit in those 9 appearances.
This hasn't been Tom's night so far, so he really needs to pick it up in freestyle.
Oh, rough landing.
Oh, you can hear those coil springs on that truck. He's got coil springs on the shocks, and that's what you hear on those landings, is those springs moving around.
Now what happens when the,
nice!
whoa, look at that, right into the backflip ramp.
How cool is that?
Well, my question for you is what happens when the oil runs out of the cool springs, man? What happens?
Well, coil springs have no oil in them. It's around the outside of the nitrogen-filled shock. And that's actually what holds the truck up, because it does not have sway bars on it. So the truck actually uses the coil springs to keep itself upright. If not, it would just flop right over.
And the sway bars, when the truck sways from side to side, keeps the truck kind of centered with that center gravity. And there's where you see Tom right there swaying to the left.
He's leaning. He's leaning. Another thing that's different about Tom's truck is he has a front engine truck, so that's easier for him to do a move, say, like that, than it would be for these other chassis. And that's because all the weight is in the front of that truck, where the other trucks have the weight in the back.
Great jump there for Tom Mentz.
Ooh, absolutely soaked that up.
That's one of the first things I learned about a monster truck, a sway bar. Leslie Mears took me in the garage, said, hey, that's a sway bar, that's a 4-link bar, there's your motor, there's a transmission, and you're ready. Go.
Well, the sway bar is actually one of the things that's most commonly broken on the trucks, just because we side slap and land funky so much. Oh, we lost the transmission. No, maybe he just missed a gear.
He's running it, burning it.
I think he lost second. And that means second gear is no longer there.
He's going for the backflip.
You don't need second gear to flip, especially on these containers. They're so aggressive. He should get this flip no problem.
Sends it up. Beautiful.
Boom! Nailed it.
Right down on the 4 Bkt tires. And time will expire. Take a look at the super glue to the action replay for Tom Mentz and Max D.
He goes big out of the gate here. See him catch it. Nice catch right here to go into a stoppie. That is extremely hard to do. He goes for the backflip, not even having second gear. Fully commits to it. Gets perfect rotation off that trench box. Sets it back down. Awesome job.
Here comes 2-time World Finals freestyle champion Jim Kohler in Avenger. It's the first jump he sees.
No rear steer whatsoever, it looks like, Scott.
All right, well, he's still able to run in freestyle. That just means he's going to have to stop and turn around a lot, correct?
Yeah, he's going to have to prepare for the turns extremely early.
When you're inside driving and you have no rear steer, I mean, you're literally laying on that steering wheel to try and get it around, correct?
Yes, you're having to do work. Think about this, Scott. As a driver, it's a lot harder to have to physically turn a steering wheel than it is to toggle a switch with your finger. So now he's actually having to use his arm strength to turn the front wheels and cannot rely on that rear steer switch. Oh, looks like he might have a little rear steer coming back now.
How does it just come back?
It's an electrical issue. It seems like maybe he has a wire that's not making complete connection. Or maybe he can only turn to the left. Maybe it's the ball switches are not allowing him to turn to the right, and he can only turn left. We'll notice if it doesn't seem like he's wanting to turn right at all.
He's going to go for something big here.
Already?
Kohler headed for the 8-pack, lines it up.
Why not?
Comes off the side, and he lands it hard on the front left side. But he's got it, and he's back for more.
Wham!
Right off the log, gets the end down, gets the tires down.
Nice.
And then skying it off the right side, the left side of the jammer.
He has no cares in the world. He's out here doing it for the fans in Indy.
The Jim Kohler hits the 8-pack, skies it into a gator. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
Nice run from Jim. That truck had issues in the start, but he was able to overcome it. Comes into this 8-pack backflip, does like a crazy gainer flip, lands on that front left. BKT pops it up into a wheelie and rides it out.
As we continue with freestyle, let's head back down to KCG.
Yeah, guys, catching up with Ryan Anderson before today's event, he said that he was part of the team that helped design this particular St. Louis-style track. So in a lot of ways, this track is to his preference, which is only going to allow him to feel more comfortable and confident in freestyle.
Thank you, Casey. It's got to be a huge advantage, right?
Oh, definitely. And that doesn't surprise me. Ryan's a very technical driver, and this is a technical track, considering you can go from one jump into the next.
Gets low off the jammer, clips the backside just above the single log.
Look how much momentum, Scott.
He doesn't lose it. We say it time and time again. He is so smooth in his transitions from jump to jump. He does the same thing in racing around the turns as well.
Just spins it right around, back in the throttle.
The time it takes for him to get from one side of the track to another is incredible.
I don't keep count, but I bet if you did, Ryan makes more jumps or more hits than the other drivers out there just because of how fast he's going.
23 competition wins on the season, 4 of those coming by a Bkt Freestyle.
One thing about it too, Scott, as a driver, notice whenever Ryan's going this fast, when the truck lands, it soaks it up a lot better. Unfortunately, not that one right there, but most of the time, whenever he's moving forward, the truck soaks the landing up a lot better than somebody that just falls out of the sky. Oh,
Stoppy
yes.
in freestyle, slows it up into a Stoppy.
Oh, he's not.
He's got it on one
right
wheel.
Axle.
He's got on one wheel. It doesn't
Wow.
matter.
Yes.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. One wheel.
First gear, doesn't care. Blow it up.
Ryan Anderson getting it done in a big
He's
way.
leave it all out on the track.
And
Here's
he goes
Scott.
over here. He's going to save it. Another save. Ryan Anderson again on one wheel.
Yeah, buddy!
Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay while I get my blood pressure back down.
Absolutely killing this freestyle run. He didn't have a backflip, but he's got all the wow factors in the world. Look at this move right here. Throwing it in to a stoppy, then a moonwalk, forward wheelie, then he loses traction in the right front. It comes unlocked, either an axle or something, but he has nothing in the right front. He's balancing it on one tire right there. So much talent.
Our final competitor of the night, Adam Anderson, back in Gravedigger 35. He has got a tough act to follow, but he is used to it, I'm sure, trying to one-up his brother throughout his career.
He better bring his A game because this is one heck of a event so far.
Adam Anderson, 5 stadium freestyle wins this season, tied for Tom Mintz for most, and Todd Leduc as well.
Listen to the driving style difference. Now, Adam is in the throttle and you can really hear it, but it's not wide open. He drives more like his dad, that whoop, 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 whoop of the throttle pedal. Still loud and proud, but just not that wide open crazy like Ryan.
You know how I drive?
How's that?
Whoop.
Whoop.
Just one. Just one?
One?
Whoop. Just one whoop.
Well, maybe you should just keep announcing there.
That's the plan, my friend. That's the plan, as long as you're with me.
Yes, sir.
Adam Anderson now trying to get the throttle rhythm going, trying to get that momentum.
Come on. Yeah, giving the other black and green truck a little love tap. Big air. Woo! Crazy bounce.
If Adam can beat his brother Ryan in freestyle, Adam Anderson would take the event championship.
Look how this truck is landing, just soaking it up. Spins it around. Come on, Adam, come on. Yes, sir. There's some big air.
45 seconds remain on the clock. Roosting the truck of his former crew chief, the Black Pearl, just sitting there. There's some huge air for Gravedigger Side Slab City into Bicycle City.
I love the spinning around, not missing a beat.
Off the jammer, down on the nose, catching
24
it right.
seconds. Need something, buddy. Come on. Yes, throw something different in there.
Crosses it up, gets right back down, right on the nose again. Time ticking away.
All right, into the next obstacle. Let's see what happens here.
Air, and he's going to go up over it. Smoke again.
Oh, they got him shut off. Huge air. Look at that. Turning in away from it. You see that right there? You can see him in the air, slowly turning away from that. And what he's doing is he's preparing for the bounce the other direction. He knows it's going to go back the other way.
Let's take a look at our Bkt Freestyle Top 5. Tom Mentz going to win it. Ryan Anderson second. Todd Leduc in third. Cole Bernard in fourth. And Jim Kohler coming in fifth. KCG down on the track with our freestyle winner, Tom Mentz.
Indianapolis loves Tom Mentz and Max D. And Tom, some of the most wild and technical freestyle runs that we've seen throughout the season, and yet you claim the freestyle win.
It was a great night. You know, so many competitors did super awesome. Everybody was on their A game. Man, the last 3 runs were the only runs I've seen. But you know what? Everybody was pushing really hard because these fans are awesome. And even better yet, it's so cool that Monster Jam is back in Indianapolis.
So Tom Mentz gets 12 points, and right now we can take a look at our final Bkt overall event leaderboard. Ryan Anderson getting it done, 31 points. Adam Anderson with 28. Tom Mentz with 27. Cole Bernard with 23. And Tristan England also with 23 points. Standing by with our overall event champion. Let's join KCG with Ryan Anderson.
Ryan, where others were nervous about this track design after not seeing it for the last couple months, you flourished and took home the overall event championship.
I loved it for sure. Racing was awesome. If I'm going to lose anybody, I want to be my big brother. 2-wheel skills, I got the bicycle to moonwalk, but the second one didn't work as well. But that's all the more reason to come out here and do what I came to do. That's just tear it all up for freestyle. It's one of my craziest runs, one of the most technical runs I've thrown down. It was awesome. I can't get enough of it. I love this place. There's so much horsepower inside this place, and you know I like that. So any chance I get to be right here and throw it down, I'm going to do it. I can promise you that.
What an incredible night. That's going to do it for round 26 in Indianapolis. For Colt Stevens at KCG, I'm Scott Jordan. Good night from Indianapolis, and we'll see you next time on Monster Jam.